You're watching PowerNation. Today on Detroit Muscle, we pay it forward and rescue someone's dream car that has become a bit of a nightmare. Plus, we head to Las Vegas and call on some new friends who don't bluff about the good hand they've been dealt.
Hey guys, our Pride and Joy road burner is almost finished, and we cannot wait to stretch it out on the highway.
There's just something special about getting out on the open road, listening to the tunes from the tailpipes. It just seems to melt the stress away. The goals for this ride was to build something fun and cool.
When you're dealing with muscle from the late 60s, a task is not hard to do. We're gonna hold off on ours for now and go help out a friend rescue another piece of Detroit muscle.
You a fan of Camaros?
Always have been. I grew up a GM man, so I was no stranger to Camaros. My old man had a 67 Raleigh Sport SS back in the day. Big block, 4-speed car.
Man, yeah. One thing I really do like about these Rock Auto driveway rescues, it's a pretty cool way to give back. I'm just an average Joe with a cool job, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty. And you know, doing something like this is just one of those opportunities of kind of paying it forward in a way.
Oh, absolutely. I know in my time, I've had plenty of guys come over to my house and help me tinker with a few things. And just from what you told me, you know, it sounds like this guy has made family his #1 priority, and the car is a priority, it's just not #1.
Right, right. That's what's kind of neat about this thing. He's got so much with so little, in a way.
Sounds like this guy just loves getting in this thing and going for a spin. If we can help him get that thing back on the road and let him enjoy it a little bit. You know.
What's the point in having a car you want to drive if you can't drive it?
Exactly.
To me, this car, the experience is just driving it, riding in it. I mean, there's nothing else that I can get into and ride, and it feels like this old car. The way it steers, the way it handles, the way it drives. I don't know. I can't really explain it. I just enjoy it. Like a lot of these newer cars, they basically drive themselves. I mean, this is an old car. You feel the bumps. You got to drive it. To me, that's part of having fun. You know, it's having the car. Like, it's the experience of it. My dad likes riding in it. I kind of got the love for the cars from him. He had a couple of these when I was a kid. And we had one that actually sat in the backyard for a while, and it sat out back. And I can remember coming in from school and get chores done or whatever, and I'd drag race that car and everything else in my mind sitting in there. It only had one seat and a steering wheel, and I drove many miles in that thing, even though it had no motor or nothing. I was just a kid with big imagination and dreams.
Is this the prettiest car? Nope. Is this an efficient car? Not exactly. But it does what it was made to do. That is, put a smile on the face of the person in the driver's seat. She's a peach.
Yep.
It's kind of probably a blessing that sometimes cars can't talk in it.
Yeah, for sure. This one would probably scream help.
You know, it's something to be said to even still have this old car. You know what I mean?
I was married, had a kid on the way, and it was probably the last thing in the world I needed to buy, but I knew I wasn't going to get that opportunity again. So I went to the bank, borrowed a little money, and made some payments on something.
Sometimes people get focused on the materialistic things of new wheels, fancy motor, shiny paint. Whenever you just step back and get a little more humble, you can still have one of these old cars to rip around in.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not a bad old car. Floor pans and all are pretty solid for as old of a car it is. It's got a few spots here and there, and it's got some body damage, but I mean, how many people would just like to have one of them cars, you know? And where are you gonna go out and pick one up at? So I get to crank it up and drive it every now and then. It's pretty good.
We asked Mike what is the first thing that he wanted to do when he gets his car fixed, and if he has any goals for it.
Just drive it again, man. I miss it. Had the car for a long time, and like, it would be nice to just body work it to perfection, get all the gaps nice, you know. Then you got something you just gotta keep clean and baby. I mean, it would be nice. I'd like to have that, but right now I just enjoy driving the car. I've had it so long, it's like part of my life, you know. It's I've kept it where a lot of people I know have had their old cars they've always wanted, and There's been times I could have sold it or could have used the money, but it's just something I've always wanted, and I just don't see giving it up.
Up next, we perform a highly guarded gear swap to help make some dreams come true. Mike put a lot of trust in me and Tommy to rehab his '67 Camaro. He has a lot of memories in that car and wants to keep it around long enough to make some more. If we can lift his spirits by reviving his ride, he's going to be flying high once again.
Mike told us he was just cruising down the road when this thing grenaded. We had to go prospecting, but only found misfortune. In this situation, you don't want to find treasure because everything that glitters is not gold. Mike mentioned to us that one of the things that he always wanted to do was swap out his 273 airplane gears for something a bit lower, and how much cooler it would be to be able to leave a pair of twin black marks on the pavement with a Posi-Unit. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make this repair and do some upgrades. Yahtzee!
These old first-gen Camaros were renowned back in the day for their excessive wheel hop. Now it appears at some point somebody had done what I'd like to call a homemade traction aid by adding an extra rail and their version of a clamp. We're gonna go ahead and ditch these old pieces of scrap iron and replace them with these brand new multi-packs that we got from Rock Auto. Not only are they significantly stronger than what came on the car, but they also bolt right into place.
It's just the new guy.
Let's see what we got here. Whoa. Ooh. Heck yeah. Got our new Posi-Unit.
Making a repair like this intimidates a lot of people. It requires precision instruments to dial it in to where it needs to be. So I completely understand why Mike was reluctant to tackle this on his own. With a few performance goodies from Rock Auto, we got this piece of Detroit muscle back on the road. Nice to see you, sir.
You too, man.
Well, what we wound up doing is going ahead and adding a Posi-Unit in the back.
Yes.
And we did swap the gear ratio to something a little bit deeper.
We also put new rear shocks in the back with
Amazing.
some multi-pack leaf springs, new hangers, new bushings, and man, it drives.
I'll
It
say it's
rides
probably
so
a world
smooth.
of difference. Everything under there was like original to the car.
So what's the first thing you want to do?
Man, I want to drive it.
Keys are in it. I'm gonna let you drive it. I don't want to ride with you because I bet
You don't
want to
test the pause out?
No, I'm sure you will, buddy. Yes, sir.
Grow up so fast, don't they?
As I got older, Dad always told me I like the old cars and turning wrenches and stuff. And he's like, you'll have fun in one of them cars with a 4-speed. He's like, ain't nothing like it. It's a good, like, Saturday morning stress reliever when I wake up and everybody else is still in the bed. You know, I need some me time. It's nice to just crank it up, and it being a 4-speed, just run through the gears and blow off some stress. Sometimes you just need a few minutes to yourself, fire up the old car and just run down the road. It's a whole lot more fun if you keep your foot to the floor and never let off the gas, and you make it through all 4. You don't even have to really, just enough to lift the front end, just clutch it and shift the gear is fun. It's enough to lay you in the seat, just feels like an old muscle car should.
Told you not to get the big one, man.
Oh, I hear Mike coming. Look at the smile on that face.
You got a smile on your face.
Man, y'all give this old girl just what she needed. I appreciate it a lot.
So you think you're gonna drive it anytime soon?
Oh, every chance I get.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna let you get at it.
Well, I appreciate it. I guess I'm gonna go finish these tires off. Well, you guys done a good job.
Well, I guess we'll see. Send us some pics of them tires.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
There, Mike.
I don't think he was lying.
On to the next one, huh?
Right? Coming up, we go all in and find an ace in the hole that could deal you a winning hand.
People come from around the world to try their luck in Las Vegas. The Strip is flush with dreams of that elusive roll of the dice or high hand that will make you rich. Yes. We met some driven folks at the Matco Tool Expo who say they've already hit the jackpot. For a lot of people, the thing that means the most to them is family.
Oftentimes, you may think of husband, wife, children, and so on. But with Matco, you may have a lot more kinfolk than you realize.
Brandon, tell me kind of how you got started into Matco and like from your roots to where you are today.
Big fan of the show. I used to watch, and you guys always promoted the Matco tools, and I was a truck driver and doing LTL, and I hauling toolboxes to who was going to become my district manager, and I caught him at home one day and got signed up like the same day. I mean, pretty much.
Your son actually helps you out on the truck every once in a while?
Well, both my kids do. My son and daughter, I give them a tool to show for the day and go sell this for me, and tell features and benefits, and the people in the shops, they just love having them there. They engage with them, and it builds great social skills for them too. I mean, it's family life is key. You get to do that, and you get to do things that we wouldn't have normally done if we weren't doing this.
You were telling me that your son almost brags about you being a Matco man. It gives him a sense of pride, and probably gives you a sense of pride to know that he's
awesome.
proud of you,
He wears the shirts to school, brags to his friends. I mean, it's a cool career. Working for yourself is just the best. Harder you work, the more you're gonna get. I mean, it's just like everything in life.
Exactly.
And when you're doing it for yourself, it doesn't seem like more work.
There are a few positive words that people use to describe themselves. Talking the talk is one thing, walking the walk is a whole nother story.
Matco has allowed me to make my own destination, basically. I've been in Matco tools for 7 years. The quality of the tools and all that speaks for itself, so you don't really have to work at the job because it really sells itself.
What does it take to own, operate, and be successful?
It takes patience, and it takes the perseverance to get out there and know that you're gonna be changing somebody's life or day with the tools they get. You've got an excitement about getting out there and doing that stuff every day, and you're doing it for yourself. When my customers text me or call me and they're so appreciative of that new tool that I just showed them how to use or that they got from me and how it saved them so much time and the knowledge that they got from me. That is what I appreciate doing and helping them out with.
Yeah, because that type of thing, that doesn't just stop there, because that one tool can make their day or their week or however. Doing the mechanical side of stuff is hard work, but having a product that eases that stress, it has to put a smile on your face.
Yes, it does. I would say that it's exciting because every day is different. You've got something exciting that you can look forward to when you go out there and see those customers every day.
Boom.
No matter what you're working on, Matco provides everything you need to get the job done.
We pride ourselves on trying to have the best tool for the job. We have a lot of new and innovative stuff coming out every year. We like to listen to our customers, and even with the products that I do sell them, if they have an issue with it and they're unsatisfied with it, I don't want them to stay that way because they're not going to want to continue purchasing from me. By being able to get them the tools that they need to get the job done, they're able to make the money to help provide for their family. So I see it as it's a full circle thing.
If someone that was wanting to go down the path, what kind of advice would you give them?
For becoming a tool guy, do it as soon as possible. I'd looked into it prior, and for whatever reasons at hand, at the time, I decided against it and stayed a technician. I was a master technician at a Ford dealership in my area. One of the tool truck guys came to me and said I could make more money selling a wrench than spinning a wrench.
Sounds like a win-win for sure.
It really was.
Yeah. And then, there's a lot of, as you know, being a technician, that kind of can play a toll on your body. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of wear and tear of getting up and down and bending over stuff all the time.
Just in the short time of me being in it for 13 years, but growing up doing it, having fun doing it, and then it being my profession, I was already starting to see issues from wrenching. And knowing that I had 30 plus more years till retirement, I knew this was going to be a better choice.
How is it with your customer? Like I assume it's kind of like customers and friends, right?
It is to an extent. There is a little separation because this is a business, but at the end of the day, I do want to know about my customers. If I can bond with them more than just selling them a tool, it really helps the idea that they're going to be spending their time as well as the hard-earned money that they have with me. Knowing that I was a past technician, they know that I've been on both sides of the counter. I know exactly what they're dealing with, and I know the labors that they have to go through to get the tools that they want. So being a friend as well as their tool guy, it's very rewarding in a sense.
Up next, we learn the blueprint for success and how to make it work for years to come.
Have you ever heard the old saying, success is where opportunity meets preparation?
Oh, well, we're distributors. Matco distributors, father and son, so yeah. I myself have been doing it a little over 20 years now.
10 years here.
Yeah, so yeah. He grew up in the business since he was about 12 years old when I started, so he kind of would come out to the truck and ride with me every now and then, so he's been in the business for probably as long as I have.
Because I know some of his day one customers from 20 years ago when he started, and the business has been great.
It's your opportunity to have some financial freedom, really. I mean, because that's what it did for me, and to have freedom in a so to speak way, you're your own boss. So you ride around and you talk to people, it's a fun thing to do, and everybody's different, you meet all kinds of different people. You're really, you're selling the Matco name, but you're also selling yourself, as a person. You have to become that person that everybody wants to, buy from. Just relax, have fun with it, that's it. I've always been that type of person, I've never been a person to sit there and just be happy with what I have, I always strive for the next goal, right? It's just one of those deals, you always set goals in life and you try to meet them, been pretty fortunate in life to be able to meet the goal and surpass it every time,
I feel like we could win the Mega Millions and still go out on the route the next Monday.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We're still gonna come out and have fun, This job is fun.
Yeah.
Being with Matco is fun.
See, their motto is service, trust, results. And, the biggest thing with these distributors, they're building trust with the end user. And a lot of these guys are former mechanics. When they work with a guy and that guy believes in them, he knows he's going to take care of them. That's what Matco's trying to accomplish, is make the end life of the end user as easy as possible. These guys are so that they can just focus on getting their job done. And being able to trust a guy that he's gonna sell you something that you really need. Those guys on the infomercials, right? Nobody believes that's genuine, right? So when a Matco distributor is genuine and he's talking to his end user, he says, hey, you know what? You don't need that. You're a new guy starting out. You probably don't need this yet. This is what I would recommend, right? He's gonna steer you right.
Those dudes are trying to support not only them, but they're supporting the family, they're supporting the business they work on, and they're even working on to some aspect, even the community.
I've been doing this for over 15 years and met a lot of Matco distributors that organize charity events and involve tools. It's a special thing. It's a good relationship that they have with their customers.
How is like Matco and the tool side of things been good to you?
It's given me a job. My favorite time of the year is being able to come here because it's given me, you know, an opportunity to speak to these guys and hear how what we're working on has helped them succeed. So knowing that we're doing something that's working, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something that had a long, long relationship with them. That's a big deal for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We will be making our final descent shortly, but we'd like to thank you for flying PowerNation Air.
And I'll tell you, those Matco folks sure know how to have a good time.
Yeah, I know, brother. After a trip like that, I could definitely use a little R&R.
We're gonna need all we can get before we get started on that G-body.
For sure. Well, I think I'm finna go soak up something good at home. I'll see you in a few.
All right, boss, behave yourself.